Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. I'm coming to the end of a massive repotting session, which quite honestly is not the best time to do these, but I want these done. I want these off that list because I'm worried about them. So I'll probably only film getting them out of their pots because I think we might get a few surprises, maybe even some shocks. And when I got these, I did say that they'd all been sat in black pots of a larger size to stop them falling over, because obviously that's a very top heavy plant. And I can already see on closer inspection that these roots are not as good as I thought, which I'm a little annoyed about given where they've come from. Now no, actually it doesn't matter if I get the tags muddled up. That is not a good root system. It's even been mucked about with and didn't even take the old tag out. And I've got a feeling this is not one plant. That is a disintegrated root system. There's a plant there. There's one plant. There's two. Possibly three. That is not good. This is what I was half expecting. I'm now in a position where I've got to try and recover these, and they're not in a good state. Some of these might not make it now. None of these roots are any good. That little plant there, despite blooming, has got no viable roots on it whatsoever. Nothing. There's nothing there to work with at all. Absolutely nothing. They've probably been stood in water and they've just gone. Or they've been overfed. There's a million and one reasons why a Miltoniopsis will keel over. But I've got nothing there. Nothing at all. Nothing to work with. Zero roots. So all I can do is set that up in moss, quite honestly, and see if it will grow some roots. That leaf is annoying me, so that's got to come off for a start. Oh, hang on, the sharp scissors here. That's the leaf at the top of the bulb, and it's probably got damaged in transport, but it's just annoying me because it waggles. So that is one pathetic little Miltoniopsis with zero viable roots. Not happy. So that's one. Right, what else have we got? We've got a little one here with no blooms on. These are separate plants. I'm not tearing them apart. These are separate plants, and they've all been stuck in one pot. And it won't have been done at the nursery I bought them from, that's for sure. It makes me wonder whether these were not bought in. I've even got some infection on this bit. I tell you what else I'm worried about now. If these aren't from where I think they are, I'm going to cut that bulb off for a very good reason. Yep. We've also got Fusarium. We've got next to no roots on that piece either. I wonder how long they've been infected. Because how long they've been infected, I've got one little new root there. And these aren't that bad. They've been in a mucky media, so their discoloration could be just directly due to the fact they're dirty. Because these don't feel that bad. They're not brilliant, but they could branch. So that's another piece, not good. Now what have we got left? Is this more than one piece? Or is this all one piece? Again, you can see these roots have had it. Goodness knows what this media looks like chopped up sponge. So it could be, I was told it was rock wool, but I hope it's not because I'm allergic to it. If it gets on my skin I get a rash. I found that out in the building industry when putting roof insulation in. That stuff does not agree with my skin at all. And I got tough old boot skin. Yep, that's two separate plants as well. The only reason they're staying together is the fact that the roots have tangled. So there's 2 separate plants there too. So that's 4 plants in one pot. But at least here we do have some root sign. But these aren't going in any sort of media whatsoever until I've got all the old roots off and they've been stood in a fungicide to get that right into the plant. If I'm going to rescue these and make any sense of them, then the first thing to deal with is the old pink stuff. I think that might actually be joined on, but I've never known a Miltoniopsis with a rhizome that big. So irrespective, it's coming off there. These rhizomes are just rotten. Well, this one is. I hope they're not all like this. So that's not worth keeping. You can come off. Now, what have we got here? Just disintegrating. This is not good. Not good at all. Okay, we have a piece there, and I hate to do it. This is the piece that got damaged anyway. I dropped the Rhynchostylus basket on it, and that leaf is badly damaged, and so are the buds on that spike. I'm actually going to take them off. There, that was where the leaf joint was. There's no point in leaving that. I've recovered worse Miltoniopsis pieces than that. At least I do have some new root signs. But if these are infected plants, they're going to take a bit of work. Right, that's another piece, and what we've got left is the largest piece. I mean, look at the rot at the base of that pseudobulb. Hidden away. They were all crammed in cleverly to make all the good bits look like they were on the outside. Yeah, there's no point in looking for pink bits there, is there? That's so rotten it's black. I did say this might be a bit of shock horror. I just had a feeling. Once I saw this tangled mass of dead roots around the top of the pot. Why are they dead? You have to ask yourself, why aren't those nice bright green roots threading around the top of the pot? Well, there's no sign of new roots on this piece. This is the largest piece. Oh, do I take the spike off? No, I'm going to leave it for now and just see if I can get this one going. So that's that one. Right, I hope that was the worst one and not the best one, or I am going to be cross. Now let's have a look at this one, because I know this one's going to be weird. This one, as the others have, has a small pot inside. And another small pot inside. So that was a pot inside a pot inside a pot. You just got to ask yourself, what were they hiding? Now these roots, this is a very strange media. It could be rock wool, but if it is, I've never seen it broken up that small before. Now we do have a few new roots on this one. As I said, if it is rock wool, I'm going to start itching in a minute. Although with it being wet, and guess what? We have 2 plants. This is incredibly naughty. The only reason that was held together was the tangled roots. Right. These have been just kept too wet. I can tell the sheaths are black. They've just been kept too wet. And possibly wet and cold. Combination of the two. An old leafless bulb there. That just fell off. Right, well I do have some working roots on this piece. So I don't want to leave any of this old stuff on. Because I don't know what it is, basically. But we do have some. Is that bulb worth? No, that bulb's not worth keeping either. How are we doing there? Let's give it a clean cut and see what we got. Yeah, we got pink bits there too. I suspect if one's got it, they probably all have. This is getting bad. Ugh, these are going to take some work now. There's me thinking I got some really good plants. But the roots on this piece are not that bad. There are some dead ones that will get trimmed, but there are also some firm ones. They're not nice and white with green tips, but some of them are. So that's not a bad piece. Not bad. Now I need to keep these separate now, or we'll have, because I might put more than one in a pot. We don't want pink ones coming out with yellow ones, do we? Right, so this is the bit with the blooms on. What have we got here then? What we've got here is a completely rotten bulb. Yeah, these have just been kept too wet. Miltoniopsis like to stay moist, but they do not like to stay soggy. These have, I reckon these have been stood in water. They've actually been stood in water and just been, the water would then just keep soaking upwards and soaking upwards, getting into the sheaths and getting into the rhizome good and proper. But again, these roots aren't that bad. These roots, I mean this bit is, that bit's gone. We'll trim that off. But that's not a bad piece. Is this bulb worth keeping? I'm just looking at the height it's going to be from the base. If I keep that bulb, then I'm going to have to pot it low. So that's going to come off. It's only got one leaf on it, so it's not exactly essential. So now we can get down a bit deeper. That's the worst of the roots gone there as well. And lovely bright pink again. I am a trifle annoyed. I will have words. But then the person I bought these from wouldn't have known, because they bought them in and sold them on. They wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have attempted to repot or do anything with them. So I'm not having a go at the nursery I got them from, that's for sure. Right, and the last one, my yellow one. What have we got here then? Well, at least we've only got one pot. We have rot at the base, lots of it, just falling apart. Oh. Oops. So I'm not, it doesn't matter if I get the tags muddled up, because these have been filmed with their names and they're in my notes with their names. So as long as I don't get the individual pieces muddled up. Now we do have new roots on that piece, so that's rescuable. But again, two plants. And again, that's my good piece. Useless, useless, useless. And rotten. Bulb should not just come off like that. Never mind. Let's just trim this old part of the rhizome off. Save me getting rid of most of the roots, they'll come off with it. Not quite so pink on this one. But if they've been stood in water, chances are it only needed one of them. If they've been stood in water for any length of time, that is one of the fastest ways to spread Fusarium that there is standing in a water tray. I think that's how Danny, years ago, I think it was when she was moving from Romania, and she had to take all of her plants out of the pots, and she basically had them in trays of some sort, I believe, from memory, long time. How can you get pine needles in a Miltoniopsis? And she spread it around quite badly, lost quite a few plants as a consequence. It does spread, you know, it's and it spreads best in water. Well, that's not a bad piece with some good sized pseudo bulbs. The roots are not good at all. In fact, they're appalling. But we do have some new ones growing from here and from here. So we can give that piece a clean up. Piece of yellow, and then what we got left over here. Rotten. It's just rotten. And I think the word that springs to mind that I can use on film is disappointed. Because I don't want to use the words I'm thinking. But an expression does come to mind. I will find you. And base of that rhizome's not worth keeping. Most of the older dead roots are on it. This piece is going to have virtually no roots left now. Oh, that bit does have a bit of pink on it. So, infected plants, rotten at the base, and not good. I said that this might be a bit of shock horror, and certainly looking at what you could see at the top was unexpected. Yeah? Perhaps I should have delved deeper before I paid my money. But there's only so much you can do when you're buying plants, you know. Can't exactly do this before you buy them, can you? Anyway, I'm not going to film potting these up. I just wanted to show that because I had a horrible suspicion that this is what we were going to find. Yeah, not good at all. Anyway, a sad tale, and major recovery now to get those back on track. Some of those pieces might not make it. I have worked with Miltonias over the years. They're not the easiest thing to recover, and this is not the best time of year to try and recover them because it's getting warm. But I shall do what I can. Still not quite sure what this is. It's got perlite in it. It does look like chopped up rock wool or sponge of some sort with perlite, but the fact that it's not affecting my skin, I don't think it's actually the rock wool. Sorry, not sponge rock. Well, I don't know though. That looks a bit fibrous, doesn't it? Anyway. Yeah, it is. Actually, I can see the sparkles now, and my fingers just starting to itch. It's a fiberglass type substance. And my skin doesn't do well. I've got plants in the sink. I now need to get water on my hands and get that off. So I'll do an update at some point, but I needed to get those out, and I now need to let them dry. I know it sounds daft for Miltoniopsis. I need those to dry off a bit. So they're not going to get repotted until tomorrow. They're just going to put somewhere cool and shady and left, and then I'll deal with them when as part of tomorrow's potting session, which I'll start earlier in the day because basically it's tea time now and I've still got all this lot to clear up. So see you again. Thanks for dropping by. We can't always have good news, yeah? You just have to take the rough with the smooth and deal with it, which is what I plan to do, one way or the other. And I'll let you know. Bye for now.